Hi Lumineers! Welcome back to the Lighter Side Show. I'm your host, Jamie Butler, the Everyday Medium. Today we're going to talk about the Sacral Chakra, the orange one, the one that is 2 finger widths beneath the belly button. There it is. Before we do that, guys, head over to jamiebutlermedium.com, sign up for our newsletter. Everything is in our newsletter, all of our classes, all of our travel dates, our workshops, all the events we're up to. Okay, in this chakra series, I'm going to come in and talk about having too much energy, not enough energy, and just the perfect amount of energy in each of our 9 chakras in our body. Now, I will remind you, some believe that there are 12 chakras, 7, 9, and way many more. I'm only going to highlight the 9 chakras that I work with, and that's the only reason I've picked this. It doesn't mean that's what you need to believe in. So guys, keep learning, keep reading, explore other people who are in the energy field, collect your information, and build your own belief systems. So remember, what you believe in is your own truth. Okay, so our orange sacral chakra, each of these chakras are the size of a golf ball, 2 inches round. I'm going to embed that into your head so that whenever you see a golf ball, you will think of chakras. You're welcome, golfers, or should I say, Lumigolfers. So, getting back to the sacral, it's orange. It's all about emotions. And I brought my notes today. Ba-da-da-dum. The orange chakra is feminine. Feminine means that it is a more fluid energy. Think about the characteristics between women and men. Just generalizations, okay? I'm not trying to rowdy any side up, but with women, more care providing, more flexible, right? Can't make up their mind, have a broad, expansive range of emotions, whereas men tend to side more with directions, absolutes, and being in control. And I'm not saying those are good or bad. I'm just talking about them as being characteristics. If you're feeling one of these qualities are good and bad, then that is a judgment aspect on your part, and I would just say, check in with yourself. Why is that coming up? Is it a trigger? Is it not? Is it what your belief system is? And did you like it? If you liked it, good, keep it. If you don't like it, don't keep it. Start making these changes. Groom your belief system and your energy to match where you are and where you want to be. Okay. So the sacral, orange, 2 finger widths beneath the belly button, helps with the power of you, power of who you are, power of creativity, your center, your core. This is where the hara is. This is where you store a whole bunch of extra energy. Isn't that kind of cool? It also relates to emotions. A lot of us already think that emotions come from the heart, but it also comes from the belly. Gut instincts. We have a gut brain down here that we'll talk about in the next episode with the solar plexus chakra. But what happens when we have too much energy in the orange sacral chakra? If there's too much, like not a golf ball, size of a baby watermelon. Have you seen those individual watermelons they're making now? Have you seen them? Mm-hmm. You have, they're like this big. It's like watermelon for one. It's very cute. I know, it's very cute. It's like... We digress in the studio. So with too much orange energy, you can become explosive. What do I mean by that? I mean emotionally explosive. So all of a sudden you're on this chill path, and then a little situation arises, which you could have managed by saying, hey, no thank you. But you turn and you snap. Pow! And you just start delivering and pouring this energy out of your mouth. And your brain in the background is going, what are you doing? Why can't you stop this? So this can actually be the beginning of an anxiety attack, a beginning of kind of like a small breakdown where you're not feeling really in control. So your body is naturally trying to balance itself by moving out this abundant amount of orange energy and placing it elsewhere, but sometimes it feels not so comfortable while it's happening. You can become dominant in a relationship. And when I say relationship, I'm not just going to limit it to an intimate relationship. It could be relationship with money. It could be a relationship with power, relationship with the definition of who you are. So obsessive in that way, or dominant, where it always has to have this outcome. That's what I'm talking about. You can be prone to hyperactivity, overthink, overambitious, overindulgent. We know these things. You can be manipulative. But there is something I kind of like, just a little, and I'm going to call it sweet manipulation. That's not necessarily when the energy in the sacral is fully abundant and kind of telling you to be more controlling, big, aggressive, but manipulative. It's when it has a little too much energy, maybe size of an orange instead of a golf ball. You're still showing signs of being kind, intrigued, wanting to meet people's needs, but you're doing it in a manipulative way for what you would consider a good outcome for all. Not just good outcome for self. It's not ego-driven, it's not self-driven, it's like a community. And I call that sweet manipulation. Now, the majority of people who are involved in this, they don't care. They see that it's a good trait. But then some people are like, hey, that's not really what I wanted. You're kind of just like mothering all of us, and I don't need that right now. So I did want to highlight that one. You can also become obsessed with creation, obsessed with sex, and kind of just be stuck in that intimacy and creative role rather than having a follow through or an outcome or a goal. Now, what happens in the sacral chakra when we don't have enough energy? When it's very itty bitty, like the size of a grape. A marble. Can we think of anything else that's small? Penny.
Raisin.
Said with a yawn.
Raisin.
Hebo.
Sunflower seeds.
Okay, when there's not enough energy in the sacral orange chakra, what could be happening here is imbalance of power in a relationship. So this is the imbalance of your relationship with sex, with money, with power, with your relationship. And when we say imbalance, we mean that it will go from one extreme to the other. Not just confused, like, I don't know what I want to do. It could be extreme obsession to, I don't care. My hands are off. No go. So that's the imbalance. You can have weak boundaries. Guys, if we all experience that, we have days where we're like, I just don't want to speak up. I don't want to do that. I don't want to call. It's not really that you're physically tired, listless, or weak, like the red root chakra when it's weak. We're talking about just not having the mental strength to want to step up and set your boundaries and remind people what they are. So when you are in this type of situation and you can't follow through with it, leave the environment. Give yourself an excuse to walk away. I've said this before, Lumineers. One of my favorite things to say is, I gotta use the restroom. Where's your bathroom? Nobody's gonna deny you leaving an environment when you have to use the restroom. So keep that as a little tool you can put in your back pocket and use whenever. Feelings of guilt. When you're prone to feeling guilty all the time. Oh, and you say, I'm so sorry for that. All your I'm sorries and oh, it's my fault and the worry and the obsession that way, that's all low sacral energy, right? Oof. I know people who are working on this. Disrespectful and resentful and too sensitive. The wind blows a different way. Why would you do that to me and how? Or when an outcome happens and it's not what you wanted and you start to go into the disrespectful attitude, why didn't you think of me? It's because you yourself don't understand how to put self first because there's not enough energy behind it for you to do that. So if you see yourself in these patterns, stay tuned. Spirit's going to come in and start talking about how to remedy this, which I think is going to be very cool. I can't wait to watch that myself. Now, what happens when we have just the most perfect amount of energy in the sacral? Again, that's an orange vibration. It's a bit higher vibration than the red energy in your root chakra. When it's just right, you'll find you have a very friendly perspective on life. You're creative, caring, your intuitive skills pop out, charismatic, you're optimistic, and you're connected to your feelings. So when you're perfectly balanced in that area and you're having an emotional reaction, you're most likely to say, guys, I'm feeling really happy about this, or I'm very upset, or I need to be heard. You can express yourself and what you need. That is a very healthy sacral chakra. Okay, I hope that gave you some insight on what the chakra is doing when it's too abundant, not enough abundant, and just perfect. Stay tuned, guys. The Spirit's going to come in and talk to you about the sacral chakra, and I will see you next time on the Lighter Side Show. Take care, Loomies. Remember, it's not woo-woo. It's true. All of this. See you next time.
So welcome back, Lumineers. I am Colleen Ziegler, and I am here with Sai. And today, Sai and I will be discussing the sacral chakra. Welcome, Sai.
Thank you. It is good to be back on the stage. There were many of us here that wanted to talk about the sacral chakra, but I felt that I had the most knowledge about it. The sacral chakra in the human body is the one that is most constricted. If you think about how much people hold themselves in, whether it is their stomach to appear better, or whether it is their nerves in their stomach that hurt, or simply they are not aware of the second brain within the stomach region that holds most intuition. It is quite common knowledge that the third eye possesses all of the intuitive abilities. But this is not the truth. A lot of intuitive abilities come from the sacral chakra in the human energetic system.
We have a saying for that, and it's like a gut feeling.
Yes.
I'm trusting my gut.
Yes. Yeah. It is a gut feeling. Along with the gut feeling, the gut brain, the energy in the sacral chakra is quite sensitive. I would dare say more sensitive and vulnerable than the heart energy. Whereas most people on earth believe heart is center of emotions. Sacral energy is not found in every race beyond humans. Humans are one of many who self-replicate with the reproductive organs. Not all of us do that in that way. Sacral energy helps the creation of life in both men and women. It is unique to the humankind and unique to Earth, whereas other vibrational energy in your chakra system is not. I found that to be most intriguing and wanted to highlight that in our conversation.
I also think, personally, with the sacral chakra, it being the center of giving life to anything, whether it be a project, a piece of art, music. So there's definitely that giving life to another human, but giving life to creativity as well.
That is interesting, as most humans would believe that the creation of the art, concept, or idea is only found within the head.
That's interesting.
See how important this energy is now. I also wanted the viewers to be aware that the lower chakra system, including solar, sacral, root, and earth, are important for you to sustain life. I think it is a fault of your spoken language that when you are taught numeric value 0 being nothing, 2 being greater than 1, and 3 being greater than 2. And that you are encouraged to always be a better version of yourself than the day before, and extremely encouraged to have a better career than what you had the year before. It is an endless feed of being better or growing higher. And so when people look at enlightenment, they then take on unknowingly that format of belief and they put it on their enlightenment. And almost instantaneously, the earth chakra, the root chakra, the sacral are eliminated from the purpose of enlightenment. And it becomes almost an immediate goal for you to rise in awareness to the higher vibrational chakras to achieve the enlightenment you feel is the end result that you want.
That's true. Absolutely.
So I would like to be clear that it is all of your energetic system that needs to be present for you to obtain that enlightenment that you're looking for. So I'm to discuss when the sacral chakra has an abundant amount of energy to where it blocks or slows down the process of the chakra. When it is too large, you are then going to focus on the throat chakra with the blue energy, and like the artist you mentioned, you will take the blue and you will move it and push it down into the belly. You can do this with your visualization, with breath. You can do this with words, with physical color, stone, aromatherapy, food, your environment, so many things. What I like to heal the belly in people is the use of your animal companion. Dog, horses, cats. When they come to you, they are not like humans who wish to embrace you and hug, but they will lean or lay on you or next to you, whether it's a paw, a nuzzle, the whole body. And the sacral chakra energy is most in line with their communication abilities because of its sensitivity, because of its creativity, and its intuitive ability.
It's so interesting.
And it will calm the belly. It'll shrink the abundant into a balance. When the sacral chakra is too small to function properly, and it needs more, you want to give it more of its like vibration. You can do that by the methods we spoke prior, or you can seek out healing through acupuncture, chiropractic, as sacral chakra relies heavily on hormone balance and organ positions. There was a brief conversation about pelvic floor health physically within the human body, as this is what helps hold organs, bladders, pancreas, livers, kidneys, intestines in position. And when they are out of position, there can be applied pressure and scar tissue that can interfere with how the energy moves as free in the body. When we look at an energetic body, we can compare it slightly to a physical body. When an injury takes place, there is scar tissue that builds. Scar tissue is not as elastic as muscle tissue and therefore cannot be moved as freely. Energetically, when we have blocks, this is energetic scar tissue, where energy builds in amongst itself and then has not enough elasticity to allow the energetic body to do what it needs to do to sustain a healthy and balanced physical body. So if you have bladder and pelvic floor issues, I would look at it in a physical healing as well as an energetic healing. Was my point made?
Mm-hmm. Oh, absolutely. I'm listening, and you're covering it so wonderfully. I think that I don't even have any questions because you're doing such a great job.
Thank you.
Mm-hmm. This conversation is heightened my awareness of a lot of times when I think about gut feeling and digestion, all that, I think of solar plexus. But it's more sacral.
It is more sacral.
It
Solar
is.
plexus controls stomach,
Mm-hmm.
whereas sacral is all of your small and large intestines.
Yes.
Envisioning the color orange simply on your hands or painted onto your skin is a quick and easy repair to a depleted sacral chakra. Even though this technique is quite simple, because the sacral chakra is so sensitive, you will feel a relief immediately simply just by placing your hands on the belly. You will feel the warmth. Your stomach will become soft, relaxed. Allowing people to touch your belly. Allowing yourself to buy comfortable clothes for your belly. And seeing your belly as an honored place in your body and not something to be angry or embarrassed at because of a size or a shape. This is a big step in keeping your sacral energy healthy.
I have a question for you. Going back to when you said to put the orange on the belly because that chakra is so sensitive, would you say that there are chakras that are more sensitive than others? So there's some that have a thinner shell.
Yes.
Okay. And sacral being the thinnest?
I would say yes.
Okay.
And looking at the level of consciousness on Earth right now, I would say that the sacral is the thinnest.
Okay. So the level of consciousness that you're surrounded by definitely impacts your personal chakras.
Yes.
Okay.
But it's not level of consciousness as enlightenment, as what more do you know. It's a level of consciousness of how connected you are to your body.
Okay.
To the vessel.
Mm-hmm.
And humans are well aware that their abdomen is the most sensitive and soft to be protected. So, because of this belief system, the energetic body has done the same.
Okay.
It is more sensitive and vulnerable.
So we talked about putting the orange there. What are some of the other things that we can do to assist our sacral chakra?
Keeping a soft belly instead of constantly taunt. Relax the belly. I would even go as far as saying to pet your belly.
Okay.
Rub. That is the word, rub.
Like you're hungry? Like humans do that when they're like, ooh, I'm hungry.
I would rub it counterclockwise.
Okay.
Look at your feet as being noon. Your head is 6 o'clock. And rub around the belly button.
Okay.
If you are constipated, I would rub clockwise.
Would you say that constipation has to do with the sacral chakra and what's going on inside of the sacral chakra?
Yes. When the sacral chakra is depleted and it does not have the energy it needs to function in the digestive system, it will slow down the process of elimination.
Sai, thank you so much for joining us today and giving us your perspective on the sacral chakra. It was truly enlightening. I learned a lot of things in the past 15 minutes.
Thank you.
And I'm really grateful that you decided to join us today. So we appreciate that.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Lumineers. And thank you to Sai. And we will see you next time. And remember, it's not woo-woo, it's true.
The light king